Hello everybody and welcome to my CPA Draft Analysis. So I have joined yet another draft league, and this is the third one, the CPA. The CPA stands for the Capital Pokemon Association. Yeah. And this is a point-based draft with it's a point-based draft with 16 teams. You get between 8 and 11 mons with 110 points. So let's get right into it. So you can see my first 4 picks on screen right now. So my first pick, I had 11th pick overall, and I was not happy because I had an original draft plan, and I'll tell you guys that. I originally wanted Landorus T, Mega Manectric, Forretress, Kyurem, Conkeldurr, Pelipper, Kabutops, I'll try and find it, Uxie, what else? Alright, here we go. Lando T, Mega Manectric, Kyurem, Forretress, Conkeldurr, Uxie, Smeargle, Gramble, Pelipper, Kabutops, and Roselia. But as you can see from my 4th pick, that did not go well. My first overall pick, I picked Landorus T. I had 11th pick, so I did not think this mon would get to me. But it got to me, and it is one of my 2Z users. It's a really solid mon. It's got good stats everywhere. Base 89 HP, 145 attack, 90 defense, 105 special attack, and 80 special defense, and 91 speed. It's got a good defense with Intimidate, 145 attack is crazy, 89 HP is pretty good, 91 speed just outpaces base 90s, 105 special attack is usable, especially with HP Ice and Sludge Wave. It's a really solid mon. It can be a defensive stealth rocker. It can be a Z-Fly user. It could be the Double Dance set with Swords Dance and Rock Polish, and then sweep everything. You know, Earthquake in general is just really good. Choice Scarf Lando is also really good. It's just overall a really solid pick. Yeah, it's the mon I wanted first round, and I got it. So my next mon was Mega Manectric. The reason I wanted this mon was because it forms a fantastic core with Landorus. They both get Volt Turn, and they both get Intimidate, which is great because it lets me just pivot around threats and neutralize them with Intimidate. Manectric also gets Lightning Rod in its original form, so I can switch in on a electric type move, get a boost, and then just Mega Evolve and do a ton of damage. It also works really well with a couple mons I got. As you can see from my 4th round pick, it will help with the Azumarill. It's a fairly one-sided mon. It only gets a couple of good moves, but it is really good at its job, and it's a really strong mon. Base 70 HP, base 75 attack, 80 defense, 80 special defense, and then 135 special attack and speed, so it'll outpace most of the meta. The only good mons that are faster than it is like Mega Alakazam, but outside of that, it outspeeds so much. Forretress next up. Bug Steel type, really solid pivot, 75 HP, 90 attack, 60 special attack, 60 special defense, 40 speed, but 140 defense. Best typing in the game, only weak to fire, which shouldn't be a problem. Well, fire does a number against my team, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem. It gets Spikes, Toxic Spikes, and Stealth Rock. I can Hazard Stack, which works so well with the 4 picks you see, Lando T, Mega Manectric, and Azumarill. It just lets them sweep. Gets Rapid Spin. to remove hazards without getting rid of its own. Gyro Ball with the 40 speed and base 90 attack is pretty solid. And 140 defense is just really good. It gets Volt Switch, so I can come in, take a hit, and Volt Switch out into something, which I love. Yeah. Overall, really solid mon. Sturdy is a pretty great ability. You know, lets it live any one fire hit. Next up is Azumarill. So this is a Fairy Water type, and it's I'm running it shiny so I can have a yellow squad. Alright, base 100 HP, 50 attack, 80 defense and special defense, 60 special attack, and 50 speed. Looking at this thing, you know, it's got bad everything except for HP and decent defenses, but huge power is so good because it can just doubles its attack, which means it'll be essentially, if you're running max attack, base 150, which is crazy, especially coming off of moves like Play Rough and Aqua Jet. You know, it's a really solid mon. It also gets Belly Drum, so I can just sweep, set up hazards with Fortress, you know, and then just come in and sweep everything. It's a threat, you know. I didn't originally want to draft this. I originally had a Rain Core, but this thing puts on immediate pressure, you know, and I can just Volt Turn into it with every single mon I have so far. It's also Fairy type, so that checks another thing off of the list. It also gets Thick Fat and Sap Sipper in case I want to run it defensively, or to be a Grass type check. And with Thick Fat, it'll tank any fire or ice hit. Yeah. Next up. Alright, Kyurem. This was in my original draft plan, and it is my second Z user. Dragon and Ice type. This is normal Kyurem, not Kyurem B. Yeah. So base 125 HP, 130 attack, 90 defense, 90 special defense, 130 special attack, and 95 speed. So basically this thing tanks hits for days and then nukes stuff with Draco Meteor and Ice Beam. It also can be a pressure staller with Sub Roost, which is definitely solid. It's a very versatile mon, and it just nukes things. It nukes the ice types that it nukes the ground types that Mega Manectric is really poor against, and it nukes the grass types that Lando T is poor against. Unless he has Z-Fly, but overall, it just works really well with my offensive core, and it's pretty bulky, meaning it can take some hits. Fortress is the only wall I drafted so far. But everything can take hits. Lando T can be ran defensively, and it's a great set. Mega Manectric obviously gets Intimidate, and it's got meh defenses, so it can take some hits. Next up, Decidueye. So, at this point, Conkeldurr, which is what I would have gotten next. Well, not next. I would have gotten it earlier, but it got taken second round. Who knows why? So, no Conkeldurr for me. I made a new draft plan at this point. Well, not a new one, but a revised one, where I wanted to pick up Primarina, and Shaman, or Azumarill, as you can see I got, and Mandibuzz. But Mandibuzz got taken. So I had to get a new thing. I had to get a Defogger that can take hits and then U-turn out. And Decidueye does that really well. Okay, Decidueye stats. 78 HP, 107 attack, 75 defense, 100 special attack, 100 special defense, and 70 speed. Overall, nothing is really overwhelming. It's got a pretty good attack and special attack, and a decent enough special defense. But what this thing can do is just come in. It can defog hazards away. It has reliable recovery, making it a better wall than it seems. It can U-turn out, or it can go for like Leaf Blade or Spirit Shackle, or it can just, it's not passive. And then it can also be ran offensively with like Sword Stance or Nasty Plot, and then I can baton pass those into other mons. Baton passing like a Nasty Plot and a Mega Manectric is a threat, or maybe a Sword Dance into a Banded Azumarill. You know, it's really threatening, and it can trap things set up on with Spirit Shackle. So overall, it's a really solid mon. It's nowhere near as defensive as Mandibuzz, which is what I wanted, because my team, it doesn't have great walls, but it's pretty bulky, so I guess that's fine. But overall, a really solid mon. I use it in the NPC, and I am not disappointed with it. It's a pretty solid mon, and it's a really cool shiny. Like, come on, just look at that. Alright, next up, Uxie. I originally wanted Uxie, and I got it. This is my third defensive mon that can pivot out. You know, Decidueye gets U-turn, Fortress Volt Switch, and now I have Uxie, which also gets U-turn. Uxie is a really good mon. Uxie stats: 75 HP, attack and special attack, 95 speed, and 130 in each defense. Meaning this thing tanks hits for days. It's not passive. 75 is not bad for attacking stats, especially with like stab, psychic, knockoff, and all the coverage this thing gets. And 95 speed is fast. You know, it can, if I run this like offensively, it can outspeed some threats. And then it gets Trick Room, and my team currently, Azumarill is my only Trick Room threat. But as the draft goes on, I have a lot of Trick Room threats. I have a lot of them. Next up, Hariyama. So obviously Conkeldurr got taken. I needed a fighting type, but there were no bulky fighting types that are as good as Conkeldurr. There are plenty of fast and frail ones like Hawlucha or Mienshao, but I didn't want those. I wanted something bulkier. So I picked up Hariyama. It's got 144 HP, 120 attack, 60 in each defense, 40 special attack, and 50 speed. So this is an example of one of my Trick Room threats. It's strong, it has high HP, and it's slow. It also has Guts. Guts Flame Orb is crazy strong on this poke. And under Trick Room, it can do some work. It also has Thick Fat, so I can check fire types, which do a number against my team right now. And it also gets Sheer Force. It probably won't be used too much, but Sheer Force is a solid ability. Yeah, this thing, you know, I didn't go over my points yet. But, alright, Lando T cost 19, Mega Manectric 15, Fortress 11, Azumarill 15, Kyurem 12, Decidueye 10, Uxie 8, and now Hariyama. Well, obviously everything else before this was pretty expensive, and I was on my budget picks, and Hariyama only cost 5. At this point, I only have like 15 points left. So I gotta pick up some nice budget mons. But Hariyama is a threat. It's outside of Conkeldurr, it's like the best bulky fighting type. And 144 HP tanks, everything. Muck. Alright. So here, I needed a poison type. I needed a fairy check. The things I still need are a fairy check and a water check and hopefully a wish passer. Those are the things that I want on my team. So, Muck, fairy check. Muck is a really solid mon. 105 HP, 105 attack, 75 defense, 100 special defense, 65 special attack, and 50 speed. Overall, this is basically, it takes a couple hits and can deal a lot of damage. That's its main goal. It has a good HP stat, good special defense stat, and decent defense stat. So it can be utilized with like an assault vest or a choice band because it gets a ton of coverage. You can run it with curse to set up and lower its speed even more because you don't care about that. Raise its defense because it already has a good special defense. You don't need to raise that. And overall, it's for a 5-point mon. It does its job well, which is check fairies. It's also, like, as I said before, it's a threat with curse. You know, it's really a threat. And it's really solid. Alright, yeah, next up. So now we're on to my last two picks. And well, obviously my team right now is weak to fire types. And in this slot I wanted Rhydon. 2 tank hits and Oko with Stone Edge. But Rhydon got taken. In fact, Rhydon got taken before I picked up Muck. And so I had to change up my plan, and I picked up Caracosta, which costs 4 points. This thing is a water rock type, meaning it tanks hits from fire types. It's got 74 HP, 108 attack, 133 defense, 83 special attack, 65 special defense, and 32 speed. Trick Room threat. My team's very fast, but it's also a good Trick Room team. Well, it's not very fast. I cannot say that. Mega Man Trick is my fast mon. But it's a Trick Room threat because it's so defensive. Not especially defensive, but it's so defensive, and it still has a good attack stat. And it gets Shell Smash, it's just such a good move. Doubling your attack, special attack, and speed is crazy, especially since this thing has a usable special attack as well. The only problem is 32 speed means it cannot outspeed a base 115 or faster. So it's pretty situational to run Shell Smash, especially in League. However, it's a great water check, and it has Stealth Rocks, which is it's really good. It is just really good. Solid Rock means super effective hits won't do too much damage. Yeah, it'll take 3/4 from grass types, which are its main threat. And it also has Sturdy and Swift Swim, so if I bring like a Rain Dance Uxie and then bring this in, and then go for a Shell Smash, it'll outspeed everything and destroy. And then Sturdy means it'll live any one hit. It can go for like a Shell Smash or get its Stealth Rocks up. And it also gets Stab Aqua Jet, and it doesn't have good coverage. Its coverage is Ice Beam on the special side, and then Zen Headbutt, and something else on the physical side. So it doesn't have good coverage, but it's got a good attack, good defense with a really solid defensive typing. However, it is weak to grass, but grass isn't a problem. I have Kyurem, I have Muck, I have everything. I have Decidueye, Fortress. Grass types don't do anything to me. And then my last pick. So originally I wanted a Licky because it's the only Wish Passer that was left and is worth 6 points, that has more HP than my team. The only things that have a higher HP stat are Kyurem and Hariyama, so it would pass good wishes to everything. And like I said, everything on my team is bulky, so they can come in and get the wish for sure, and then just take hits. But Licky got sniped. But I didn't need it. It's a Wish Passer, which my team loves, but I did not need it. I did not need it. So I was like, okay, what can I do to replace this? I don't want a Wish Passer. Licky didn't bring anything else to my team, so I can just pick anything. I have 6 points left. Caracosta cost 4. So I have 6 points left. What does my team do, and how can I benefit it? So my team, it's got great Volt Turn. It can be Trick Room or Speedy. And it's really good at hazard stacking with Fortress and then multiple Rock Setters. So I was like, okay, I can still stay bulky with this mon, so my team's not too frail. I can do a lot of damage, so I'm not passive. This mon can defog. It can get away hazards in case I don't want to bring it on Fortress or Decidueye. And it can be run with like a Choice Band or something, and it has access to U-Turn. It can also be a good Choice Scarfer. And then to help with hazard stacking, it has Defiant. So I'm not sure if any of you guys know what mon I'm talking about, but I got your boy Braviary. And I'm recording this on the 4th of July. So your boy Braviary coming in on the 4th of July upload with the solid stats of 100 HP, 123 attack, 75 in each defense, 80 speed, and 57 special attack. So this mon It gives me a flying type outside of Landorus, so it can actually use things like Brave Bird and Acrobatics. It's a normal type, gives me a Ghost immunity to help with Decidueye and Uxie. It gets Defiant, so I can Hazard Stack. It gets Sheer Force in case I want to run some Heat. Doesn't get many Sheer Force boosted moves, but we got... if for some reason we run Special, Sheer Force is the way to go. Heat Wave and Air Slash. Oof. And we also get Zen Headbutt and Rock Slide, which are Sheer Force boosted. And then this mon, it's got pretty bad coverage, but we have Brave Bird, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, U-turns, and Headbutt, and Superpower. So it has decent. It's not that good, but it's decent. So I can run this thing very offensive. I can run the sub bulk up Roost set, which is what this thing ran in Oraz, and it was a really solid sub bulk up user. It can defog hazards away. It's overall a really solid mon. I wish it was faster, but you know, with 123 attack and then decent bulk, you know, there's not too much I can ask for, and 80 speed is not bad. Yeah, but that's Braviary. So at this point, I have no points left. So, and I have 11 mons. So this is my draft. I think my draft is really solid. I wish I had faster mons outside of Mega Manectric. However, my team's not necessarily slow. Landorus hits 91, Kyurem 95, and then Uxie 95. So it's not terrible. And then we have the Trick Room support in Uxie for Hariyama, Muck, and Caracosta, and Azumarill. So overall, I think my team is really solid, especially with the Intimidate core. So much Volt Turn, and then I think I got like the best value picks ever in these 4 mons. Braviary is pretty good too, but Uxie costing 8 is pretty solid. Caracosta only costs 4. Yeah, but I think my team's really solid. Z move users are Kyurem and Landorus, as I said before. Z Fly, lots of good coverage, and with this thing, it's a pretty good Z user. It can take on the fairies with like Z Ice Beam or you know, Z Flash Cannon, Z Iron Head. I think I got 2 good Z users. I can still change them actually because week 1 hasn't started. Yeah, but that is gonna be my team. I will actually I should go over uploads now. So NPC Friday, Saturday, SBL Saturday, Sunday. This I don't know when to do this, honestly. Let's see. The 14th. Let's see. When is the 14th? 3 days from now. It's a Friday, 14th. So this will go up on either Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday, because weeks start and end on Fridays. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for my team. I will see you all next week. Yeah, peace.